All right. Well, Andrea, if you're there, we're gonna go over to you next. If you're there, just go ahead and unmute if you can, and we'll go into our next segment that everyone's waiting for.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Andrea, how are you?
I'm awesome, thanks.
So, normally Adriana gets to introduce our guest, but I have the pleasure of introducing Andrea on today's call. And for those of you that don't know her, she's a neuroscientist and holistic health practitioner, and a cancer coach who's deeply devoted to empowering others in their health and wellness journey. And there's a lot more to that, I know, and I think Colette in this video that we're going to show kind of goes into even more detail. But Andrea, do you want to maybe just give people a quick overview of what they're about to see in this great 20-minute video?
Sure. So Colette asked me if I would be interested in presenting on how to support our immune system in the holiday season using frequencies and a naturopathic approach. So I've put together ways to boost your immune system through food and frequencies and lifestyle practices. So that is what I will be diving into in the presentation.
Okay. Great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this video, and then we'll be, kind of monitoring the chat and helping out any questions that come up along the way. And then once this is over, if there's any other questions that we need to address, we can kind of go into a little bit of those as well. So, okay. All right. Let me go back to sharing my screen, and we'll get this started. Okay.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much. I am really excited to have Andrea Page here with us today. Andrea is a neuroscientist and a holistic health practitioner and a cancer coach who is deeply devoted to empowering others in their health and wellness journey. She offers a very unique perspective, having worked in healthcare for over a decade, primarily in radiology oncology, quickly realizing the gaps that existed in conventional health and cancer care. Andrea began to do her own research and study alternative and complementary therapies. She is currently completing her PhD in integrative medicine with research dedicated to frequency-focused therapy and empowerment. Andrea's coaching combines the wisdom of naturopathy, neuroscience, and frequencies, body, mind, and energy. Andrea also has really been putting a lot of content out there for the field of Healy, working along with Chad Fisher and Cassie Jackson with their new program called the Resonance Connection. And twice a month, Andrea has been hosting calls called the Wellness Wednesday. And so when we wanted to host a call specifically on how to support our immune systems with the seasons changing, I knew it'd be perfect to bring Andrea on and have her share how she supports herself and her clients and their immune system with frequencies. And so it is that time of year. Winter is coming. All of you Game of Thrones people, I had to say that. And so Andrea, I would love to have you come on and share more about how you are using this, using the Healy for your immune system. So thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me. So yeah, as seasons are changing, our immune system can be triggered in a lot of ways, especially if you live in a place that's going to be cold soon. So learning the ways that we can bolster our immune system, both with the Healy, but also just in lifestyle practices, is really helpful to mitigate any kind of sickness as we transition in these seasons. So our immune system is a network of organs, cells, of proteins, and basically their job is to move around the body and try and detect any pathogen. So any foreign substances in the body, they latch onto those. So whether that's bacteria, viruses, whether it's toxins, they latch onto them and they try to neutralize them and eliminate them. And so it really is our protection mechanism, our defense system in a way. And yeah, so it's a really extensive network, as you can see in the infographic that I have with the green. So it shows all the different parts. So there's many parts of the immune system, but really what I always talk about is that 70 to 80% of our immune system is actually in our digestive system. So in our gut, it's in the linings of in the cells, all of the white blood cells, they're moving throughout the body, but primarily the gut and the immune system are interconnected in such an intimate way. And so a big part of keeping a strong immune system is also gut health. And that, and as you work on one, the other one gets balanced as well. And so it's always good measure to have a healthy digestive system. So whether that is through, nutrition, supplements, detoxification, which is a big theme for me right now, as well as we prepare. Detoxing in the fall is a great way to prep for winter and boosting the immune system, because we're clearing out the toxins so that our immune system can be strong as we transition into this next, into winter. So what are some things that weaken our immune system? Chronic stress is probably the biggest one. Lack of sleep or poor quality sleep, diet, exercise or lack of exercise, dehydration. I'm constantly talking about hydration in all of my talks with all of my clients. Like, are you drinking enough water? Whether they say they have a headache or whether their hormones are imbalanced, or it's like hydration is like foundational for me. It's also super important when we're working with frequencies. Hydration is so important for the conductance of the frequencies, especially with microcurrents. So some other things that weaken our immune system, obviously, are things that are adding toxins into our body. So things like smoking, alcohol use, negative thoughts and emotions. This is a big one that's a really big topic right now. I see it a lot in the field about trauma healing, a lot around belief systems and negative thought patterns. So really working on these has an effect on the immune system. 70% of our serotonin is actually made in our gut and then sent to our brain. Serotonin is what makes us feel good. It's like our happy hormone, along with dopamine. And so having a strong digestive system helps our immune system, helps our neurotransmitters, helps us feel really good. Some other things, and this has been quite prevalent in the last couple of years, is sort of an isolation, lack of connection and social interaction with other people. So I'm so happy that people are getting out more and connecting with others, because it has a really strong effect on our immune system. In my experience, because I've been working in the cancer field for almost 2 decades now, there's a really great book called Radical Remission, and she talks about these 9 factors that contribute to people that have spontaneous remissions in cancer. And a big one is the social interaction. Actually, interestingly, only 3 things on that list actually have to do with like nutrition and supplements and physical parameters. All the other ones are social and emotional. So what are some other things? Lack of sunshine, fresh air, getting out in nature. These things are so important for us. I heard Taryn talking with Dr. Michelle Patrick last week, and they were talking about grounding, walking outside barefoot, getting the ions and the electrons coming up through our body is really great for charging the immune system as well. So getting the last bit of that in before the snow falls or it gets cold and you can't do that anymore, that's a really great way as well. So conversely, from other things, in terms of our signs of a weakened immune system, high stress levels, or you feel like even though you have stress management techniques in place, they're not working. So feeling this sense of overwhelm. If you have increased anxiety more so than like what is maybe normal for you, any kind of digestive troubles or digestive woes, that indicates that there's some digestive imbalance, which always goes along with a weakened immune system. Sleep challenges, especially if you're waking up in the middle of the night, like at the same time every night or around the same time, that usually kind of indicates an organ imbalance. So detoxing is great for that as well. Feeling tired all of the time, lethargy, low energy, brain fog, these are huge ones that can indicate that maybe the immune system could use support. Frequent infections or like getting colds quite a bit, having a persistent cough. These are all things that are quite, they depress our immune system in a lot of ways. Any kind of skin reactions, our skin is our largest organ. And so quite often when we have skin manifestations, that is an indication that the immune system could use some strengthening as well. So what are some things that we can do to strengthen our immune system? Hydration, my number one go-to, and also being mindful of the quality of water that you're drinking. is really important too. A nutrient-rich diet, whole natural foods, reducing any processed or packaged food is always really good. So everything that goes into our mouth is, contributes to our health, our digestive health, as I was saying, so it really strengthens our immune system. Regular physical activity. Movement is amazing for the immune system because it gets the lymphatic system doesn't have pumps like our blood system does. So we have to move in order to get things flowing. And the lymphatic system is part of the immune system. And so exercise is really great for that. It doesn't have to be high intensity, walking, any kind of movement, just moving your body on a daily basis for 20 to 30 minutes. If you're starting out, just start gentle, but exercise is an amazing one for immune system. Also really great for hormone balance, mood improvement, helps with the anxiety if you're having any of that. Some other things are getting outside, as I said, getting the sunshine, fresh air, direct sunlight on our skin for 5 to 20 minutes per day. Having some stress reduction techniques. So whether that is mindfulness, meditation, some people that is exercise for them, but just finding what works for you so that you can feel grounded and balanced is always going to contribute to strengthening your immune system. Working on positive thoughts, really assessing our belief systems, doing that healing to really release. We can store memories, experiences, traumas in our cells, in our tissues. And so looking at that stuff, and the Healy can be amazing for diving deeper into that, especially with the coaching module and the aura analysis for kind of uncovering what is there and running the frequencies to really clear that energy, bolsters the immune system. And then, as I said, social interaction, getting out and having that interaction with people, even if it's online, but just having that connection to other people is really important. And then, of course, we can use frequencies to help support our immune system. Another one of my favorite talks. So Gold Cycle, anybody that knows me knows that I love hydration, and Gold Cycle are like my two go-tos. So Gold Cycle is really amazing for the immune system, but really working at the bioterrain level. So really optimizing cellular health, the connective tissue, the cell communication between the two. And it's really foundational to optimize the environment within our body to bolster our immune system. So care is really focused on the immune system, but balance as well. Anything that's flowing through the body, it's lymphatic system, it's hormones, it's blood flow. Pure, of course, is the foundational one. It's really meant to detox on all levels. And then if you are experiencing high stress, high anxiety, using the relax and the release is really great for our nervous system. Again, because everything is interconnected, a calm nervous system, when we're in more of the parasympathetic state, can really be helpful for boosting our immune system as well. The next one is bioenergetic support. So the bioenergetic boost was actually designed by Healy to support our immune system in the bioenergetic realm, which is really amazing because we always want to look at things from the inside and the outside. So what are we doing? What are we eating? The water that we're drinking to really support our immune system on a physical level, but also what are we doing on an energetic level? And so the bioenergetic boost is really great for really looking at both of those realms of the internal and external energetic environment. Coherence is a nice one too, brings our heart and our mind into balance, which is really great for our immune system as well. The next one, bioenergetic harmony. So these are like our digital first aids. So if you're having symptoms of immune system or that your immune system needs support, these ones are amazing for that. We have the immune system in bioenergetic harmony 1, chilling. If you're having any mucous membranes that are activated, then using the chilling. I love this one for my kids. If they're having a fever, I run the chilling and it's amazing for really bringing that down. Hypersensitivity is an allergic response, which is our immune system being activated and having these physical manifestations. So if you are having that allergy symptoms or you feel like your immune system is weakening, then using hypersensitivity can be amazing for bringing it back into balance or relieving allergic reactions. And then nerves, again, if the manifestation for you in immunity is manifesting more like stress or nervous system dysregulation, anxiety, depression, running one's frequency programs that are focused on the nerves are really, really incredibly supportive. And then bioenergetic harmony 2. there's a lot in here: bacteria, toxins, tonsils, gastrointestinal, which supports the immune system. All of these are really geared towards if you already have a pathogen in your body. So if you already have a physical manifestation of immune system depression, these ones are really great for helping the body move the pathogens out, and then bolstering the energy around it to boost our immune system on an energetic level. So these ones are always my go-to if you're having symptoms, you feel like your immune system is already being kicked into gear, to use these ones to support it. And then I like to follow up with meridian systems, because it's like we're dealing with the immediate response, the activation within the body, and then the meridians are optimizing the flow of that energy, so moving it. So we gotta, the immune system will attack the pathogens, and then we want to be able to move them out. So kind of like a detox.
Must be frustrating, huh?
Depending on how it's manifesting, depending on which meridian systems that you're using, but I love system, our kidneys, always a favorite, kidneys and liver, because our liver, once our body, our immune system neutralizes the pathogens, it's really our liver that moves them out of our body. And so running liver frequencies to support that if you're feeling depressed, or your immune system's depressed. Any of the digestive organs within meridians as well is really wonderful for supporting the immune system. And then some of my favorite ones, so we have digital nutrition. So digital nutrition mixtures number 3 is focused on the immune system. So immune system, lymphatic system, toxins, antioxidants, these ones are all really geared at supporting, giving the frequencies of the nutrients, the supplements that are in these ones. I love digital nutrition, and definitely for supporting the immune system. There's so many in here. I just picked the ones that have that are focused on the immune system specifically for this talk. And then lastly, we have the power 3. Oh, these ones are supportive frequencies. So again, if it's a nervous system dysregulation, if you're feeling stressed, if you're tired all the time, if you feel like you could use more emotional and mental balance, Healy has so many programs that you can use to support that. But mental balance is amazing. The JOBS program, which are really sleep and stress frequencies, and also positive mindset, mental clarity. These ones are really amazing for, I see these ones as more supportive for the immune system peripherally. So really kind of moving more towards nervous system regulation to work in synergy with a strong immune system. So it's really so many to choose from. And then Power of 3, also some of my favorite programs. So these ones are really geared towards strengthening digestive fortitude. So defense support, conflict balance, friendly flora. These ones are all geared towards the digestive system, which will also bolster the immune system. And then if there is a pathogenic response within the body, so the immune system has already been activated, the Zapper protocol, the classical physical and classical energetic, which are right frequencies, these ones are really great for supporting the immune system as well. And then Rebalance, it's like 102 minutes of bliss. That one turns me around 180 degrees. So I try to run Rebalance once a week, actually, along with the Zapper protocol. And this one really keeps my immune system strong. And then
That's
what do
awesome.
we have?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so some of the naturopathic protocols that I love and use and recommend to my clients. So there's so many wonderful teas and elixirs that you can make to bolster the immune system. Anything with ginger, honey, turmeric, lemon. So even just simple things like lemon in water in the morning starts the detoxification process. It can bolster the immune system, even just doing that. I love to wake up, have some lemon in water, do a breath work because it's activating the lungs and really bolstering or starting that detoxification process on so many different levels. Colloidal silver is my go-to for my kids and I, because it has no flavor, so my kids love it and it's really great for the immune system. Medicinal mushrooms, same thing, reishi, chaga. Well, there's so many now that you can get. And you can get blends. I like to recommend blends to my clients because you're getting the beta glucans and you're getting the different nutrients that's within all the different mushrooms, because they all offer different remedies, I guess. And so I like to offer or suggest blends for my clients. And then I also love to use essential oils. so many of the essential oils are naturally immune boosting and can move toxins out of your household. So lemon, peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree oil, there's so many of these that you can have. So in the wintertime, I use my diffuser all the time, at least when I lived in Canada, maybe less so in the tropics, but we don't have winter. But there's so many things that you can do with the immune system. But really, I would say that the key ones are managing your stress, hydrating, and then, you know, focusing on optimal nutrition, whatever that means for you. And then sleep is another one, and then movement. So those are sort of my top 5, and then using the frequencies to support that.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much, Andrea. And I love that you called it the digital first aid kit, you know, and I know you mentioned your children, and I know that I use frequencies for my family as well. And just, you know, being able to scan and figure out what's going on. And I know, and so you mentioned the kidneys and things like that. And so would you suggest kidneys being meridians, or would you say using the deep cycle kidneys? Is one or the other, would you say supportive more for the immune system?
I mean, I guess it depends on whether you are supporting to keep your immune system strong versus whether you're already having symptoms. So if you already feel like you're getting sick, running kidneys, like in either digital nutrition or in using the digital, not digital for say, the bioenergetic harmony 1 or 2 for toxins, and then using the meridian systems for kidney to support the energy around it. Mm-hmm. So I always like to pair them for me, because it's like working on a physical level and then working on more of an emotional or mental level. If it's very much feels like the immune system depression is coming from more of emotional or stress oriented, then deep cycle is amazing, right? Because it's really getting in deep. Again, when I use deep cycle, I like to run a gold cycle first and then run a deep cycle after to combine the two, because the gold cycle is working more at that cellular level, and then the deep cycle is working more at that energetic level.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all your nuggets and your wisdom. And then again, you know, so you're hosting your Wellness Wednesdays on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday of the month at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the 2nd and 4th Wednesday.
Oh, whoops.
Which is very confusing because it changes depending on the month, right? Whether there's 5 Wednesdays or not. But yes, 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month.
I believe.
And I'm always open to suggestions of topics that people want. So. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. And we'll put into the chat for your website and your YouTube so people can follow up and watch some of your replays from your other Wellness Wednesdays. And I thank you so much for all that you're putting out there for Healy's Field and helping encourage and educate us all with more ways to support ourselves with Healy.
Thank you.
Okay, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Andrea. That was also such useful information. I know there was a ton of great comments that you saw there in the chat, and I love how Gold Cycle is kind of the favorite and the go-to, because you know it's depending no matter what edition that you have, whether professional or Resonance Plus, holistic, you know, the Gold Cycle, you know, for a lot of people, it's such a great place to start, but not start there and never go back there. You know, it's just because the professional comes with all these other programs doesn't mean those Gold Cycle programs are any less valuable. So definitely love all this information. So
thank you.
Yeah.
It's different watching myself on video, but it was good.
Yeah.
I'd like to jump in here if I could, just to offer a couple of additions to the wonderful presentation that Andrea just made. And that is to remind people that, as Andrea says, stress is one of the most important things that affect the immune system, as it affects everything in the body, because stress leads to inflammation, and inflammation, in my point of view, is the cause of all disease. But one of the programs that I always like to highlight that people are unaware of is the program called Bed Rest, which is a little bit of a misnomer. I wish they'd change the name, but basically the Bed Rest program is a program that switches a person from sympathetic to parasympathetic. So that gets you very quickly from a state of fight and flight to a state of rest, regeneration, and digest, or rest and digest. And if you're going to use the bed rest program, it's best to use it with the sticky pads and place them behind the ears on the mastoid bone. That is the best place to do that. And then the second thing I wanted to add in here was that in my practice, one of the most important keys for balancing a person's immune system, especially during this time of year, is taking vitamin D3. It is a real key. First of all, I test my patients to find out their vitamin D levels, which is something that is very helpful. So if you have never had a vitamin D level test, I highly recommend that next time you have your blood drawn, you ask for a vitamin D3 level, and it should ideally be between 80 and 100, 80 to 100. I keep mine very close to 80 all the time. And then I highly recommend, especially as we're going into the fall and winter seasons here, and we're going to start to potentially have some reappearing issues of viruses from the past, that people take 10,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. That's my recommended minimum, 10,000 IU. I use a sublingual D3, but that seems to definitely raise people's vitamin D levels in their body and also absolutely support their immune system. So I wanted to throw that in there just so that people have some additional information.